Hey everyone. We've now gone through chapters 7 through 9 and had the discussion. So I want to go over some of those questions. Um, so, first one, why does Holden cry when leaving Pensy? This seems odd since while leaving the dorm, he insults the rest of the students. Um, as I've kind of said before, Holden looks like he's duplicitous. He's got these kind of he's almost two-faced, and so he's got these two opposites holding on or existing in him at any given moment. So on one hand, he seems like he's uh, emotional, um, upset at leaving Pensy, certainly the way he does. Um, And after talking to Ackley and being alone in the dorm room and not being able to hang out with Ackley overnight, so he leaves and he cries, but then he insults people as he leaves. And so um, I think he does like people, and he did kind of like maybe not the school itself, but maybe the fencing team. He obviously liked some of his professors, some of his classes. He didn't fail everything. Um, and so I think there is this again, not quite hypocrisy. You don't have to be 100% upset or 100% um, disliking of something. And so he cries, and as kind of a defense mechanism, he kind of goes and leaves with that insult. He doesn't like that he's missing someone. He doesn't like that he's feeling badly about leaving. So he kind of covers it up with the insult. Um, Now, again, he will have these moments where he'll say something or he'll say something and then do something, and they're total opposites. Um, and other times he'll just do something on one side and something on the other. Um, so I think he cries because he genuinely does uh, feel upset that he's having to leave Pensy. Number two, what does chapter 8 show us about Holden? Why does he tell Miss Morrow lies about her son? Why does he give her the janitor's name as his own and that he's going for brain tumor surgery late at night for some reason? Um, is this cruel or kind? I've got my notes here. He lies to Miss Morrow and says he's the janitor Rudolph Schmidt. Um, there's an interesting thing with that name. I won't say what it is. I'll let you kind of do a scavenger hunt because that name has significance if someone looks it up, or a few people look it up. Um, they'll see who that actually is, and it's a person relevant to the time that it's being written and it's taking place. Um, and so, there's a couple of different significances to it, not just to Holden, but to J.D. Salinger as well. So he lies. He says he's the janitor. He'd be too young to be the janitor, but anyway. And his name is Rudolf Schmidt. Let's see. This happens all the time, right? You see someone, right? Maybe a relative, a friend, whatever, and they say, "Oh, how's so and so?" And you just kind of lie, "Oh, they're fine." Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's, no consequence. Sometimes it's not. I don't, she's probably, worried about her son, Miss Morrow, and Holden lies and said, oh, he's doing fine. Um, we don't know if that's true. We can only take Holden's word for granted, or as the truth, which it may not be. Um, but I think he I think that by itself is sort of kind. At least that by itself is not a bad thing. But the fact that he lies about, who he is and what he's doing on the train, um, and the janitor and the, going in for brain tumor surgery or whatever it is, I think that's very selfish of him. And so I think that the rest of the lies are very much not good, not kind, but, more on the cruel side, um, because it is so selfish. All right, I'm going to answer actually 3 and 4 together. We've seen Holden speak with or about several girls in the book. There's Jane, Sally, Miss Morrow, etc. What is Holden's perspective of each, and what does this say about his broader attitude towards women in relationships? And then number 4 is also, what do the events in chapter 9 tell us about Holden's view of sex? Um, a lot of times, I think Holden puts women up on a pedestal a little bit. Um, he talks about relationships and how the people should get into them for the right reasons and have sex for the right reasons. Um, he wants to have relationships. As he gets to New York, he thinks about calling a few different people. But then, at least at the beginning, he doesn't call anyone, which I think that by itself is kind of telling. Wanting to have a relationship, uh, but can't actually take action to start a relationship. Um, then he gets into his hotel room. He sees all these weird, not weird, weird to him, and probably weird for the 50s. Um, you know, People doing different things, sort of, I guess, sexual, maybe not, in different rooms across the way. And he finally uh, figures he would call Faith, I believe it's Faith Cavendish. Um, I'm sure there's some relevance to the name Faith. Um, he calls her up, and say, "Hey, do you want to get some drinks?" Right? He actually takes that, um, I don't know, first step. He tries to take action towards having a relationship, and then she says no and rejects him. Um, so he's kind of, again, going back to what I was talking about in number 2, he kind of goes not just in between extremes, but he goes from this extreme of, you should only be in relationships for the right reasons, you should only have sex for the right reasons, with someone special. And then he gets into this, whether it's looking at other hotel rooms and calling up Faith, who is, what is it? Basically, nowadays we basically say a dancer or stripper, or burlesque dancer, and tries that avenue, something that's a little more sexual, which doesn't seem like it's for the right reasons that he said he want that people should uh, only have sex for. So there is a reason for that. There is an explanation that doesn't lead to he's just being a hypocrite. um, but we need to read on and get more of Holden's character, more of what he does, um, and things like that. So keep reading, um, keep kind of going through and picking up these little clues. They are going to be subtle, um, and have faith, not the person, uh, that it will all kind of, sort of, in Salinger's very, very subtle way, make sense. And, we'll get to see what happens and what and where Holden is. I mean, we kind of see where he is in the beginning, and see what journey he's on. So, um, that's it for these chapters. I will see you on the next video for the next several chapters.